This episode of Pucks Out Podcast is brought to you by Action 24/7, Tennessee's only local legal sportsbook. Use code Pucks Out when you make your first deposit, and our friends at Action will give you a 50% boost on your first deposit, up to $800. That's right, up to $400 extra when you use code Pucks Out. And this week, there are once again some amazing boosts for you. Want to bet on Tiger Woods but worried about his injury? Action is the book for you. Bet on Tiger and the Masters with the overall winner, finish top 5, 10, or 20, or top former winner. And if he needs to withdraw for injury, i.e. doesn't finish the tournament, you get your stake back as a free bet up to $50. MLB opening day is finally upon us. Celebrate by betting $25 on the money line on any MLB game Thursday through Sunday. But what if your pick gets shut out? Action has got a deal for you. They'll hook you up with a $10 free bet if your team loses in a shutout. Sunday night, it is a NBA parlay party. There is a great slate of games. The Grizzlies are playing host to the Boston Celtics. There's a big Eastern Conference matchup between the Cavs and the Bucks. With action like that, you gotta make a parlay. Make an NBA parlay with odds of plus 500 or greater and get a $15 free bet if it doesn't hit. And did you know you can gamble with cash? Are you tired of waiting on your sportsbook? You won, but you can't get your money? No more waiting with Action 24/7. If you want to gamble with cash, deposits, and withdrawals, get started with Tennessee's local sportsbook today. Check out the URL in the show description to learn more. Once again, use code PUCKSOUT, that's PUCKSOUT, when you make your first deposit, and our friends at Action 24/7 will give you a 50% boost on your first deposit up to $800. What are you waiting for?
From the Standing Stone Farm Studio right outside downtown Nashville, it's time for the most ridiculous sports podcast in the world. So sit back, relax, and listen as Bobby Butler and Brandon Bond crack open a cold one and talk all things hockey, pop culture, and complain about everyday situations. It's the Pucks Out Podcast on the Penalty Box Radio Network.
Welcome into the most ridiculous podcast in sports and pop culture. I'm Bobby. He's Brandon.
Hello.
You can find us on the three majors of social media at Pucks Out Pod. Now let's crack open this cold Mayday beer and let's get after it. Some Angry Redhead. Love it. Pucks Out is powered by Mayday Brewery, the official beer of Pucks Out Podcast. Join them every Tuesday for trivia night and Thursday for bingo. Today, we've got news, notes, preview of the Stanley Cup odds-on favorites, and much, much more. Don't forget to check us out on Patreon to support the show. We've got some stuff coming there soon. How are you this week, bud?
I'm doing good, man. How you been doing?
Good, man. Busy. There's a much-needed
same,
beer.
Same. Just, just being busy, getting that time of year, So, March Madness is officially over.
Talk a little bit about that.
Fantasy, hockey has started for us. Fantasy basketball just ended.
Congrats to Sass on a
congrats to Sass. Yeah. The two-peat, and I came in second this year. Sixth seed. I kind of scraped in there, beat a couple of good teams, couldn't get past him. He's just too much this year. I had too many injuries back and forth, but you had a good regular season, and I came strong against you, and then just couldn't get it done. Trying to go in hockey.
I'm not a fan. My biggest issue with NBA, and it obviously affects that, is it is April. These players should not be sitting out right now.
Yeah,
for months. I hate that.
I mean, Giannis,
especially when you got teams like, for example, I had money on the Lakers the other night, and then after they announced LeBron's not playing. I'm like, they're just outside the playoff spot.
Yeah.
Why is he not playing tonight?
Giannis
at a home game.
Giannis sat 2 of the games this week for me. I mean, I lost by about 800 points. I mean, he wasn't going to get me there, but DeAndre Ayton just decided on Sunday night, he's just going to sit tonight. And, it was just, and I'm with you, and it's frustrating, but it happens to all of us. It just so happened to happen to me this year. So
during the NHL offseason, we might talk a little bit about what can be done and if something could be done, if the NBA could change the rules as far as players sitting out, because that obviously hurts the product that they're trying to sell.
Fortunately, that loss, for me, I lost to the best team in the league. Yeah. He ran the league all year. So, I mean.
Yeah, and I'm more talking outside of fantasy. I'm talking about like as a sport in general.
Just as a sport. We absolutely can talk about anything. That's why we created this bad boy. Yeah, exactly.
But all right, let's jump straight into the news.
Everything you need to know about what's happening on the ice. It's time for news from inside the boards.
The season for the Flyers keeps getting worse. The Flyers end Keith Yandle's Ironman streak at 989. Keith Yandle, 35 years old, broke Doug Jarvis's record earlier this season. They were not upfront about whether it was from injury, but they did say he was a healthy scratch. However, he did not participate in some practices leading up. So, I mean, if this was just a matter of he was a healthy scratch, shame on them. They're on the outside looking in. They're not really a contender. Let him get those 11 more games at least. Let him get to 1,000.
Yeah, and you know, unless this was something that he was in on, he's like, hey, this is it.
Now,
this is where I'm in.
If he's legitimately injured, but like, I mean, being a healthy scratch makes me think it's not. But
I mean, you know, just bringing that up, I don't know if we've ever talked about this before, but what are your, you know, some of your Iron Man, you know, type of streaks? What is, you know, ranks high on your, I mean, obviously, I mean, you can't go wrong. I mean, it can't go wrong. I think the obvious choice is, you know, Ripken. I mean, Ripken's,
that's your question.
Iron Man streaks.
I thought you were asking about like what Iron Man streaks I have participated in, as far as like
how many
drinking or something like that. Like I was like, well, I mean, I am my championship with Edward 40 Hands is still I still, you know, reign supreme on that, which I mean, some could say
now, I mean,
is as impressive as Cal Ripken.
It's, I mean, Phil Kessel's right behind. I mean, I don't know if his is still going, but on 327, the article written had him at 965. I mean, Yandle's is 989. So, I mean, it would need to be. I mean, this is, I mean, it's like you said, if this was a healthy scratch, that's
3 days ago it was updated 968. So yeah, he organizational it was an organizational decision to keep Yandle out of the lineup against the Toronto Maple Leafs. That is not good.
Yeah, that's a bad look.
And maybe Phil Kessel had that in his contract.
Yeah, that's a bad look, man. Anyway, maybe we'll talk about some great Iron Man shit. I mean, Cal Ripken obviously is the one that you know just stands out in your mind. I'm sure all sports have them. Brett Favre's was pretty impressive for sure. Eli Manning had a pretty good run as well. I mean, there's a bunch of guys that got a long standing streak going. So
yeah, I'd have to look at a list. I really don't know many.
Sure, yeah. I just didn't know if off the top of your head anything that I wasn't thinking of. So
no.
Yeah, anyway.
But Austin Matthews hits the 54 goal mark after a hat trick to tie Rick Viavi, the franchise goal record for the Maple Leafs. I mean, he is just lighting it up this year, dude. Like, there's still 3 weeks left. I mean, he is a shoo-in for the Rocket Richard this year.
Yeah, I mean, people are keeping it close. I mean, Draisaitl's not slouching behind him.
Both Draisaitl and McDavid just crossed 100 points this season.
Yeah, I mean that right there is super impressive. I mean, they're right behind. I mean, he's by no means a lock. Draisaitl's at 50. He's pulling away from Kreider though at 46. Yeah. We have McDavid at 105, Draisaitl at 101, and then closely behind Jonathan Huberdeau, 97 points. I think he's remember me switching my heart candidate to him. I think he's not a shoe-in by any means. There's lots of great
Yossi, I was reading some articles this morning. Roman Yossi is starting to creep into people's minds for the heart as well.
Yeah, I don't see him giving it to a defenseman.
I think he should be the favorite for the Norris. I don't think has a legitimate chance at the Hart.
Yeah, I mean, he's great. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, you know, 81 points as a defenseman when you got, you know, Huberdeau doing what he's doing in Florida with Florida and where they're at. I mean, Johnny Gaudreau sitting at 95 points. Matthews at 92.
These analysts' opinion is if you take Huberdeau out of that lineup, Florida's still very good. If you take Roman Yossi out of the Preds lineup, they are not very good. Which is true, but at the same time, like they wouldn't be the first team to clinch a playoff spot if you take it.
I don't know. I mean, Jonathan Huberdeau does a whole lot for that team.
That's what I'm saying. If you take Huberdeau out, they're not clinching a playoff spot the way they did.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean,
so I think Huberdeau should be the Hart Trophy winner this year.
Yeah, and I mean, it's kind of taken away from what the Preds offensive stars have done this season as well. Yossi's having a great year, but from a defenseman spot, it's hard to be that most valuable player in my mind. From that D-man spot. I'm not saying it's not possible, but it's not as if everybody on the Preds, star-wise and money-wise, haven't stepped up this year. Does Josi have 81 points if, Duchesne and Forsberg aren't scoring like they are? Maybe not. So that's a question to play. And I want to say, absolutely Norris favorite, and he should win it. So.
Yeah. Ryan Getzlaf announces his retirement after a 17-year career. And in honor of that, I have dropped him from many of my leagues going into playoffs because he's out for a week or two. So maybe you could get him in your fantasy league if you like him.
Maybe if you have nothing to play for, snatch him up.
Yeah. He's been there for he's been the captain for 11 years. I'm pretty sure he played his whole career there, right?
I can't think of him anywhere else. If he did, he came there from somewhere.
Yeah, maybe after
like a couple of years.
If he didn't play his whole career there, he would have had to come there from somewhere else.
Yeah, but I'm saying, yeah. I don't think he came from multiple places, is what I'm saying. I think he just was somewhere, got drafted, and then went to the Ducks pretty early on. If you want to look that up,
let's see. Yeah, he's played. It looks like he's played his entire career. It looks like what is MDA? Hold on.
It's probably their affiliate.
Oh, it's when they were the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So yeah, he technically he started his career with the Mighty Ducks of Anaheim. Then in 06-07, he stayed with that franchise when they became Anaheim.
Isn't that weird? That I did not know that was legal. That you can just be a team of a place. Why are we the Tennessee Titans when we could be the Titans of Tennessee?
Yeah, and I always assumed that when they were the Mighty Ducks, they just rebranded. I didn't know they actually changed their initials,
Ducks logo and everything. Man,
that's dope. I don't like that they changed that.
I didn't either. I do. I actually did like it because I love the Mighty Ducks logo and I hate the Ducks.
Do you think that maybe there was a copyright issue with Disney or something like that, and Disney was like, "Yeah, we're separating from you"? Which because it is Disneyland's in Anaheim, right?
Maybe, but you could say you could still be the Mighty Ducks and then change your logo.
Yeah,
that was my thing. I think it was probably more branding because it's like a kid's movie.
It's that or because they were so bad, the mouse was like, you're not repping me.
You'll never ever have this duck on your uniform again. They're like, yeah, right. Well, we'll just be the Ducks, buddy. He's like, go for it.
Yeah. The mouse is plotting and just breaks Ryan Getzlaf's knees. What a great episode of South Park that was.
Oh my goodness, man. Yeah. So, can't say that I'm sad to see it happen. Happy for him as a person, sad for hockey, but great for the Preds as a guy who had to watch Getzlaf, do some nasty things to us as a fan base. I'm okay with it.
Yeah. The Coyotes broadcasters absolutely embarrassed themselves with some insane comments after Jay Beagle pretty much assaulted.
Say his name. It was Tyson Nash.
Tyson Nash.
Trying to poke it in behind Kozhinosh. And now Fowler. Now everything's going to happen here. And Jay Beagle grabs a hold of somebody.
Oh, you knew that was going to start something. I love it.
Yeah,
Beagle's pounding somebody.
Troy Terry. Yeah, Beagle caught him up high. Oh, man.
And Beagle's going to fight someone else here. And Terry's hurt.
Jay Beagle caught Troy Terry with a couple.
And that's the problem sometimes with these young players. You want to embarrass guys, and you want to skill it up. You better be prepared to get punched in the mouth.
Wow.
I just miss the days. I just miss the days in hockey when we had bad hockey players.
Yeah. Yeah, that is absolutely insane. First off, his apology was almost worse when he comes on to say like, oh, well, maybe, I just don't think they should be smiling and stuff like that after the score. It's like, what?
It was.
How is your apology worse than your original thing?
It was such a bad take. And here at the Pucks Out podcast, we know a little something about bad takes.
Yeah.
We have them every day.
Well, we see other people have them. We've never had a bad take.
We've never had a bad take that we told you about.
That's why I cut it.
Yeah, cut that whole line about us having bad takes. Ridiculous.
So,
man.
and then obviously Twitter got a hold of this, and obviously there is a army of Twitter tough guys who are like, I mean, he's right. Whatever happened to the good old days of hockey when, listen, Troy Terry plays to the name on the back, not the name on the front. And everyone is like, I mean, scoring a goal. Scoring a goal seems like
for the name on the front.
Yeah, I mean,
if this guy, if you folks on Twitter, I'm not, frequently there, so you can say whatever you want about me. If you folks on Twitter want to go back to the time where, the goalies were strapping on, New York Times to their legs for pads, and there was no helmets, and there are guys smoking on the ice, and Bobby and I could outrun these guys as far as conditioning. By all means, go get you and your friends and start a hockey league. It will be what you want. League. It will be what you want. I promise. Just go to your local rink and watch some beer league. As Bobby's saying, this is the NHL.
This is the current meta of the NHL.
We are not saying don't fight and all this. But we are saying that you shouldn't be a sore loser and cross-check somebody after a goal and beat somebody to death because he's, again, I'm still not sure, but he smiled at you. I'm really,
or that is skilled.
He has skill, I don't know if you thought you were defending Jay Beagle there. It does not sound good for him that he's talking about this. Guys want to skill it up. Jay Beagle will tell you what's up with it.
Yeah, absolutely insane. But all right, let's move into outside the NHL.
Now that you know what's happening inside the boards, time for the rest of the headlines with news from outside the boards.
Kansas makes an epic comeback, the largest comeback in NCAA championship history. They were down 20, at least that's what they said. I believe they were down 26 points, 22 points.
It was a good amount. I don't remember the exact number.
They ended up coming back and winning. It was a good game. I was impressed with North Carolina's play. They kind of fell apart there in the end. And a lot of people are like, oh, they blew a 15-point lead, and they're comparing to like Atlanta, dropping that lead. But this is basketball. 15 points could swing it could happen real quick.
Kansas was controlling that game up until North Carolina's big swing at the end of the half. It just happens. Yeah. This is how basketball is.
I don't feel bad. There was a guy who in the preseason put like $500 on North Carolina to win a future bet to win it all. I think whatever the odds were, he could have. It was like a $200,000 payout, but he could have cashed out at halftime for $80,000, and that idiot let it ride. No, I'm sorry. I'm taking that. 75
20. You gotta expect the guys to come. That's tough, man.
Yeah, man. That's $75,000. That to me, because I'm already sweating.
I mean, I'm probably taking it too. I'm saying that.
Or you try to hedge it if you can in some way.
Yeah. See, we're pretending like we would have waited till halftime. We'd have been cashing out for $20,000
and a round of 32. 20 grand cashed out, bro.
They beat Duke, bro. Give me my $5,000, brother. What's up?
Yeah.
I'll take it.
Yeah. And then I'm losing that $5,000 on this game.
Yeah, exactly. We're pretending.
We're degenerates.
We're pretending like, and we're really pretending like we didn't cash out for $20 before the tournament. We're down 180 and could have had $80,000, and we're pretending like, nah, we would have been good, bro.
Yeah.
We'd have been.
I hate the guys on there like, no, it's against the spirit. You never cash out. You let it ride. It's like
I have that thought. I say that too
when I'm dealing with small numbers.
Yeah, when the cash out's $17 on my $30 win.
But if you're dangling $70,000 in front of me,
scared money don't make money. Well, I've never made this much money, so I'm just gonna be scared with my $70,000.
Yeah, I still think it's funny when dudes on Reddit are like Diamond Hands talking about GameStop 2 years later, and I'm like, I mean, I cashed out a long time ago and I made money. Like they're like, yeah, well, it's going to the moon in the next couple months. It's like, okay, well,
It might. Hey, I've kept a few GameStop shares around myself.
I've still got about 20 or about 15 to 20 GameStop shares, just waiting. A little bit of BlackBerry too, but
I'm not fighting. I'm not fighting over it. I'm not. I'm not posting on Reddit every day.
Speaking of Reddit, were you there for the Reddit place, the Canvas?
Yeah, I watch it.
I was watching it.
I don't really understand it. If I'm gonna be honest, if I'm sitting here being honest with you,
it was pretty cool. I
understand what happens. I just don't get how it's done.
So you just go in on your phone or your computer, and you're allowed every 5 minutes to place a color on a pixel, and you can. It's a community art piece.
Yeah, I conceptually get it. I just didn't understand how to go about it, and didn't really want to. I mean, that was more. Yeah. I mean, not that
I watched it a lot because it was kind of cool, but
what do you mean you watched it a lot because it was cool? Are you on Reddit? Like, it just is constantly there. It's
I mean, I would log on about every third.
I'm saying its place, and then it'll be another Reddit, and then somebody will have a new update of the thing. It was just constant.
So
it's cool.
A community I've been in for one of my games that got a little small patch of it, and we had the logo there, and I would kind of get on, and then it was overtaken by fucking Tennessee Vol fans because it's an.
This is against you. You've been smack talking.
Well, what happened is we kind of had to deal with the Braves fans, and then we kind of shared a little spot, and then the Vols started taking over the Braves, and then they got on there and let's take over these Satisfactory dudes, and they took us over, so that we ended up going down south and getting another spot of land down south. But then it was I was like, it fucking would be the Vols to take us over.
Yeah, I mean, there was some. There's a lot.
There was a big issue with bots. France was the biggest perpetrator. It was cool though, no matter because they added more canvas as the 4 days went along and doubled it, and then it got quadrupled. The moment Germany went insane. Germany tried to take over the entire area because it's what they do.
It's what they're good at.
It's like we will not do this in real life anymore.
Is this your first year of doing it? Okay,
this is my first. I finally made a Reddit account. I always creeped on Reddit and just kind of went for information. I've never commented on something on Reddit. So I finally made an account.
Yeah, I mean, I got a best way to get you a little karma boost. To get in all the communities and stuff if you don't already have it. Go to new, try to get in a funny comment on NBA or NFL on a meme that is going to the top. That was it. I got I
just have a Pucks Out Reddit account.
I actually have a Pucks Out. I actually have the Pucks Out official Pucks Out podcast.
Oh, nice.
Me. That's me. Was it taken? Because it was me.
I just did Pucks Out, one word.
Okay. So I actually started.
We should get into a fight on Reddit and just.
We should. No, because then we'll just be like, okay, Kevin Durant's arguing with himself again. They're like, that's
the bit we do. We
Pucks Out burners.
We each accuse each other of being Kevin Durant.
My top comment of all time is making fun of Kyrie Irving for being a flat earther. So my second top comment of all time is making fun of Bill O'Reilly for getting kicked out to pasture with Sean Hannity. So I mean, I've got a pretty stout account. You may see 007 V2.
But so around. The last day of the thing, which was last night, what Reddit did was, in order to close it down, the only color you could put in was white. So it was the anti-void. So what happens is the bots that go in and they choose the appropriate color they want, they could only choose white. So in a time lapse, you could see which communities were using bots.
Gotcha.
So the French flag down at the bottom, and then some other gaming community, and immediately
Are we sure that people didn't do that?
No, because it happened.
We're sure that the French didn't put up a white flag.
It happened within seconds. Within seconds of them activating that.
The French know how to raise a white flag very quickly, extremely quickly. So I'm just saying, don't besmirch our brethren
here's
in
the thing.
France.
It's not. So the whole thing was the French had their own spot and they had a good looking thing. This was a streamer from France who set up the bot to do a French flag that took over a bunch of smaller communities. The French were having infighting because they were like, that is not our official one. Because their official one had a baguette and a what's that thing that chops people's heads off?
The French Civil War.
Yeah, so the whole thing was a smaller French flag with a baguette and the thing that what is it called? The thing that chops people's heads off.
Oh, a guillotine.
A guillotine.
That was the official French.
Yeah, the official French, which was not done by bots, was a guillotine and a baguette. And they're like, this is us. And so the other one was just badly done by some streamer, and streamers were the most annoying people there because they kept getting their communities. They were like, just trying to take over everything.
I'll tell you who made a strong standing. I think it's like an anime or something. The OSU.
That was it's a gaming thing. They got caught. They were bots as well because
they stayed strong, bro. Yeah. They kept their spot. They botted better than the rest of you.
It was seeing all the Among Us, like every single thing that had a little Among Us things and everywhere. Yeah. And then the Star Wars people came out because some streamer tried to take over the really nice like Star Wars thing, and then within like 20 minutes, the entire Star Wars community fixed it.
It was the first time in history that that prequel memers, sequel memers, and original trilogy memers joined forces as one. Yeah. So cool. Well, I mean, our place is awesome. If you're not on Reddit, I mean, you can go watch probably a YouTube video on it. Yeah. Did you see though? There was a winner, and there's no question about it. Group got the QR code for Never Gonna Give You Up, and so rickrolled people.
I saw the QR code getting built, and I knew within seconds that it was going to be a rickroll video.
Yeah, but that's impressive.
It is very impressive to have that much coordination. I do wonder if it was a bot or not, because having that much.
If it doesn't matter, somebody built the best bot, and they won. Yeah. They won our place.
Yeah. Let's move on.
We're not even talking about anything on our dock at this point.
The Masters tees off on Thursday. At this point, Tiger is planning on participating. He said, I watched his press conference today. He believes he can win. I mean, he's an athlete, so he believes. Someone asked him, was like, Tiger, are you in physical pain while you play? He's like, every moment of my life, I'm in physical pain. He's like, after my back and now my leg, I mean, I've just grown accustomed with the pain I'm in every day. And it's like, the entire crowd was like, ooh.
Yeah, I mean,
odds makers were like, okay, his odds are going to change.
Yeah, the thing is, unfortunately, as far as the possibility of Tiger Woods winning it, that changes nothing. Okay, I saw this man hobble around in 2008 Masters and win a green jacket with, wasn't it like a torn meniscus or something? Something so ridiculously ridiculous. If there is some, and I don't know how I feel about it, because he did some bad things. But he is we truly got to see, we had to see one of the greatest careers go down the drain. This is the greatest golfer of all time in my mind, even if he doesn't take Jack Nicklaus's Masters titles.
Yeah. Right now, I'm looking for his odds over on Action, and there is a boost.
Like 1500?
Right now, he is plus 4,900.
49, okay.
4,900. And if you listen to the ad in the beginning, there is a Tiger Woods insurance bet on him to be the overall winner, finish in the top 5, 10, 20, or top former winner. And if he has to withdraw because of injury, you get your stake back as a free bet up to $50. So, I mean, at plus almost 5,000, do you think that's a good value? Are you taking that?
Good value? No, I don't think it's good. I don't think it's good enough. I mean, it's hard for them because it's Tiger Woods to go any lower than that. But I mean, I'm not taking it because
do you think top 20 at plus 175?
No. All right, if you gave me top 20 at, I'd say it'd have to be plus 300, 400, right? Yeah. I mean, at least.
Yeah. So as someone who is not a big golf guy, what is a wire-to-wire winner?
The leader,
he never loses the leading spot.
Never leave.
That's what I assumed, but I wasn't sure.
Okay, so I had to look it up as well. I'm assuming it means after day one, that leader never loses the lead.
Okay,
that would be my guess, because that would be the only fair way to do it, because guys are behind people, guys are in front of people. So my guess would be after day one, whoever's leading doesn't lose that lead.
I wonder how often that happens. I wonder what
not very. The last time that it happened was actually pretty recently in 2015. Rory McIlroy did it. I think before that, I want to say it was like the 80s since somebody has done it. I mean, it's but I may be wrong and I may be thinking of something else. Let me just look that up.
While you do that, we'll move on. The Washington Commanders denied allegations of withholding ticket revenue from the visiting teams. The allegations stemmed from a congressional investigation. A quote from ESPN: according to multiple sources, it involved allegations that the team withheld ticket revenue from visiting teams. Teams are required to deposit 40% of their ticket revenue into a visiting team fund as part of the NFL's revenue sharing program. this is a big deal that and this is I believe this is perjury.
I guess if they were under oath, it's perjury. I personally am still, you caught me at the beginning with it being a congressional hearing. Why is our Congress?
I was going to talk about that too. Why are they? Why is Congress having hearings about this?
I just want to start.
This should be a police this is not a political matter that the U.S. Congress should.
This is if anything, this is a labor matter. Don't you guys have like a big union or whatever? Like, figure it out. Like, why? Okay, yeah, But as far as like the actual content of the information you're talking about, if we want to actually talk about that and not again why our congressmen are hanging out with NFL players and people for whatever reason, yeah, it's bad. It's real bad because that's regardless of whether it's perjury or whatever, I can tell you that there's most certainly going to be 31 other. Yeah, there's going to be 31 other people that are extremely not okay with you holding out. This ain't the mob, bro. Like this ain't
maybe
you kicking
30.
Up.
Dallas probably isn't part of it, so
they probably are not. Well, he probably mad because it's the Redskins. He real mad about it.
Commanders. Yeah,
this is not the mafia where you can't. I'm just gonna not kick up my full percentage and no one will know.
Yeah, there's these things called ledgers and books, and
these guys are paying hundreds of thousands of dollars for forensic accountants and lawyers that just live for this stuff.
Yeah,
bro. Like this is their gig.
Yeah. They're getting paid hourly.
Tony Soprano isn't going to hire forensic accountants to go through Christopher's books. Okay. But I will tell you that Art Rooney for sure is.
I want to see that show though of being the forensic accountant for the Sopranos.
Well, there was a scene. I'm watching it with Stephanie. The forensic accountants that was going to go into Tony's finances for Carmela, and that forensic accountant bowed out. So I don't think I think that's the thing is that all of them would just be like, nah. You're just going to pay me a regular rate. Like, I'm not an associate of yours. I'm not like a friend of yours. Like, I'm just a guy at this point, and this ain't worth $30 an hour.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we're going to move on to our main topic of the day. We're taking a look at the Cup favorites. We have a little bit over 3 weeks until the playoffs. These odds are courtesy of our friends over at Action 24/7. Don't forget to check them out and double your money. Starting off with the odds-on favorite right now, the Avalanche at plus 375. They are plus 160 to advance to the final. They are the last team to, now a little note I have about them, the last team to lead the West in points and advance to the Stanley Cup final was the 2012-2013 Chicago Blackhawks in a lockout-shortened 48-game season. The last time a team accomplished it in an 82-game season was the Canucks in 11-12. I think the Avalanche are, just like last season. I think they're the most talented team in the league right now. I think they are the favorites, but once you get into the playoffs, it's not as easy as it's not as crazy as March Madness, but
no,
you're not. It's not just about skill. You got to have puck bounces. You have to have a little bit of luck. These are 7 games. These are series.
The numbers. If you really think that the Avalanche are going all the way to the final, then you should just be betting on their money line every game.
Yeah,
and you'll make more money, even if the odds are ridiculously low. You should just be betting on their money line every game, and eventually you're going to come out on top that way. I just feel like 375 is too low for a team that, as you said, hasn't yet proven it to me. I'm not going to go out and put money on Austin Matthews and the Maple Leafs to win a series.
Yeah, not when there are teams here that have better odds and have proven it. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later down the road. Moving on to the second most favorite now is the Florida Panthers at plus 500. 4.12 goals per game make them the highest scoring team in the NHL since the 95-96 Penguins at 4.41. Their biggest issue is that playoff experience on that team and goaltending. You can skate by with mediocre goaltending throughout the regular season. When it comes to a series, and if you need to be able to lean on a solid goaltender, and playoff experience matters.
Yeah, I'm thinking the Panthers are good. They can go far. And again, I don't like the number. I would like to see their draw. their first round draw before I see.
That matters a lot.
Because one of two things could happen. They can get a team that they could roll through, or they could get a veteran team that gives them a hard
like
time.
The Bruins.
But then you see them roll through the Bruins. Then I'm much more comfortable seeing them, putting my money at that point for maybe not plus 500. Maybe at that point it's plus 350. And then I'm feeling a little stronger about it one round in.
Moving on to the Calgary Flames at plus 850. The 7th in team offense, 2nd in team defense are analytically superior to the Avalanche in everything from puck possession to share of scoring chances to expected goals percentage. This is a amazing team, and I could see this being the conference final. And if it did come down to that, I like the Flames.
A team, the Flames, I think the biggest difference between the two teams, like you said, metrically, you wouldn't notice it. And there's a big reason for that. I mean, they're the far west Calgary team that nobody gets to watch their games like they do. They don't have, Johnny Gaudreau's great, but he fell off a few years. And so he's not
a little less competitive. So people don't give it nearly as much credit as it deserves.
It's the biggest thing I can say is this is a team that just finds a way to win, and they do it. They've shown you they can win in multiple ways.
And Jacob Markstrom is on fire this season.
And right there, it's the first team that you have put on this list and brought up that I'm like, that's a goalie that you can win a championship with.
Yeah. The Carolina Hurricanes also at plus 850, best defensive team in the NHL at 2.35 goals against per game and a respectable 9th in goals per game. But are they missing that veteran forward that can push them over the edge in a playoff scenario? We've seen it now for the last several years. They are a powerhouse that they struggle a little bit in the playoffs. They stormed through Nashville last season.
Well,
Nashville was not a.
I would change that from storm through to they beat Nashville last season and they stormed through John Hines last season is more how I would phrase that. Would they have probably still won that series? Yeah, I'm thinking that they probably would have, but I think it's a much different series if the Coca-Cola formula wasn't messed with, make a new Coke all you want, but bro, we want the old Coke. That was what was working for us. So, I like the Hurricanes. I think you have some money out on them as well as I do. Still future. I can cash out for making money right now. Scared money don't make money.
I still have money on the Islanders.
Scared money don't make money. Your boy going to be rolling in that 190. No problem. All right. But it's a team that I have become less and less comfortable with. They seem like a regular season team to me.
Yeah. For sure. Now moving on to the last team, we have the Tampa Bay Lightning at plus 900. They are a proven commodity. They've done it twice in a row. They are showing a little bit different on ice consistency this year, but they know how to get it done in the playoffs. They have a lot of the same talent, and that's a good value at plus 900.
Best value that we've read right now.
Would any of us really be surprised if they complete the three-peat?
I'm willing, almost willing to go and throw some money on it. That's the one I've been biggest on of this group. If you gave me $20 and said put $20 on any of these teams, get me the best value you can. That Lightning at plus 900 is it. I think I would then fall to Flames at 850, Panthers at 500, Hurricanes at 850, and then I would go to Avalanche at 375. Is there
anyone on this list that you would also be comfortable taking at like some obviously much further odds?
Like if I got better odds on it?
I'm saying like not a team on this list.
I was actually looking that up myself.
Is there anyone not on here that you would...
Yeah, Pittsburgh Penguins at plus 1,500. You had them on the list. I don't think we talked about them though. I did not.
But I didn't go over plus 1,000.
Okay, yeah. So yes, Pittsburgh Penguins at plus 1,500. I love that. I think that is a value, and it will be in direct conflict of my Pittsburgh Penguins won't make the playoffs this year bet. But true to form, that's who I am. So I really think that is probably your best. Go get you if you want to take your shot. I do not. I also do not hate the Bruins at plus 1,500. And I don't hate the Rangers at plus 1,750.
What do you think about the Wild at plus 1,400?
It's a team that is, again, finds a way to win. It's almost like
the Rangers at plus 1,750.
Yeah, I was gonna the Rangers. I don't think that's likely, but I like the number plus 1,400 from the Wild. I like the number and maybe won it up a little bit more.
The Columbus Blue Jackets at plus 99,900.
I'll give you, I'll give you the money to put on that if you want, bud. But I mean, you can't turn your nose up at a Capitals team at plus 2,900, a team that has some veteran leadership, that has won, that can win. Yeah, I mean that's pretty. I mean, maybe the Maple Leafs at plus 1,000 if you think this is if you think this is Matthews' year. I'm not hating that. I like it a little better than some of the ones that we talked about. But no, I mean, the Penguins, I think, is the best value on the board at plus 1,500 to the point where I'm probably going to go.
Yeah.
Put some money on that later.
So before we move on to games of the week, we do want to announce we have some winners from our tournament bracket. Let me pull up their names real quick.
While you're pulling that up, I did pull up the wire-to-wire winners of the Masters. There's been 5 ever. To lead all 4 rounds. It was Craig Wood in 41, Arnold Palmer in 1960, Jack Nicklaus in 1972, Raymond Floyd in 76, and then Jordan Spieth in 2015. I think I said McIlroy earlier, and it was actually Jordan Spieth. Pretty impressive company that Jordan Spieth's sitting in right there. Yeah. A couple of known commodities there. So 5 times ever. The question is because you can get plus 1,400 odds on a wire-to-wire winner. Probably. Is that what you're asking for?
Yeah, I think so.
I don't like that at all. I mean, go pick your guy, if you wanted to, in my mind. So,
but all right. Yeah. So the Pucks Out Pod Tournament Challenge, the winner, I believe, I'll have to look on Twitter. I believe it was a $20 or $25 gift certificate to Target, I think, or Amazon. I think I said Target.
Real nice.
Yeah.
Real nice.
Real nice. It was actually a tie in the points of between Fall 18 and at 509 Baseman. So at 509 has already reached out to me. Remember, we said if you want to collect your winnings, you have to reach out to us because we don't have your info to reach out to you. But it went to a tiebreaker, and Fall 18, the tiebreaker, he had the winning score of 66 against the loser 65. So he was 10 points off the final. And 509 Baseman had the winner at 84 and the loser at 68. He was 13 points off the final. So the tiebreaker goes to Fall 18. Fall 18, if you're listening, you have until the 12th, April 12th, to hit us up on Twitter, on Instagram, somewhere. Send us a screenshot that you're that person, and you'll get your winnings. If by April 12th you don't reach out, it'll go to the second place winner. But yeah, congrats, guys. We had
tied. Yeah, I mean, so technically not the second place winner, but the second place based off of the tiebreaker
we had 58 entries. It's awesome. Thanks for playing.
Yeah, super impressed. I got on there because we did it a little late. I didn't expect to see that at all. We had a great showing, and hey, all y'all were nervous that I was going to get the Target gift card for a little bit after weekend 1. I was going to get it. And then I was not after.
Yeah, I placed in 47th and 48th.
I was
actually we had more than 58 because there's a lot of people tied. For example, so we had more than 58. I don't know. I mean, actually amount, but it just says the group size is bigger than 50.
So I mean, we let 2 people. There's 2 entries per, so a couple people probably had a couple entries. But hey, super awesome, guys. That is. I wish they gave you more time to set the brackets up before the brackets actually come out, so you could go ahead and have a pool ready. But even still, such a good showing. Super happy to lose to all y'all guys. Y'all did a great job. We had some good brackets in there for sure.
And congrats to Jane for winning Mama
Jane.
I was keeping it competitive, but I knew that it was a long shot when it got to there. I was in first place for I think since the round of 32 or something like that.
Yeah, you've been dominating the whole time. You had a really good.
I had
bracket.
Tennessee winning it, and when they went, I was like, oh well. One thing not surprising was Tennessee
did not win. Auburn didn't win. But congrats, Mama Jane. That was a big time bracket win.
And shout out to Will for setting it up.
Will set it up. Next year, I think he asked me to co-commission it. So, that way we can have a couple extra. But it was a great setup, a great tournament. He did a really good job. So hopefully, as per tradition requires, hopefully Jane tips him a little bit.
And like always, listen, my best bracket was one that was not done analytically. I literally said, how dope would it be if North Carolina and Duke went against each other for the first time ever? And that's what kind of got me in a place where I was good.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure it said that Jane auto picked the winner. It said under, so hey, and sometimes it's not a skill thing.
Auto picking, letting the computer pick is just like us picking, right?
Yeah,
could be any of them.
Yeah.
I would doubt that many had St. Peter's going to the Elite Eight of this tournament.
But all right, guys, let's move into games of the week.
Games of the week. Bobby and Brandon do the work, so you don't have to. The best from around the NHL and what to watch.
All right, we have ourselves the first perfect week of the season. Brandon had a 5-0 week to move him up to 8 games back. I went 3-2, so the score update is I'm sitting at 72, 42, and 3. Bond is sitting at 64, 50, and 3. We have 3 full weeks remaining. He's sitting 8 games back. It's getting close.
It's possible, but at this point, I didn't even have a disappointing season. Being able to throw down the first 5-0 week was, we've been stretching. I mean, we've had tons of 4-1 weeks. That's a tough
thing to do.
A 5-game, essentially what is essentially a 5-game money line parlay across 5 days. I mean, going 4-1 in that is impressive. It's why we've literally never had a 5-0 week. So, you're gonna win. You're gonna come out on top on the war. But everybody's.
I'm not counting my chickens.
But everybody's gonna remember.
I mean, last year
it
got real close there at the end.
It did too close.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that happens, but at this point, I'm okay if it doesn't.
Yeah. So I'll start us off this week. Nashville versus Ottawa on Thursday at 6 p.m. Nashville's been showing some signs of struggle, man. But you know what? I think Nashville takes it. Ottawa dropped it 4-1 on the 29th. I think Nashville takes it. I think that they need to step it up. They recognize that they're fighting for that playoff spot, and I think they step it up a little bit. So I've got Nashville beating Ottawa.
Okay. Nice pick. I got a really good game. Probably the game of the week between all of the ones that we picked. Rangers playing the Pens Thursday the 7th at 6 p.m. Battle of some Titans there. Going with the Pens. I'm sure that means the Rangers will win, but I'm going to go with the Penguins.
Shoot us with your Friday game.
Oh, yeah. For our Friday game is going to be the Islanders playing the Hurricanes. Friday 4-8 at 6 on 4-8 at 6. Islanders, again, are not playing hockey like they played in the beginning of the season, but Hurricanes are still, like you said, one of the better defensive teams. I'm going to go with the Hurricanes on this one.
All right, my Friday game at 7 p.m. I got the Wild versus the Blues. I think it's going to be a very good divisional matchup. The Wild have just been amazing. They had a 7-game home winning streak there for a minute, like when they had their big home stretch. They ended up dropping it, but I mean, they just beat the crap out of the Caps as well. I got them beating the Blues.
Then Saturday goes to me. Devils playing the Stars. The Stars are a team that are trying to get into a playoff spot. They are a team that has traditionally at this time of year kind of dug in and can potentially get there. I mean, we saw a Dallas team that was struggling to get in to the playoffs go to the Stanley Cup a couple years ago. So I think the Stars are going to beat the Devils, but the Devils always, when I pick against them, it always seems like the Devils come out on top. So really I should be picking the Devils, but that just means the Stars would win. So
on Saturday, I'm tilting on this one a good bit. I got the Caps versus the Penguins at 2 p.m. It's in Pittsburgh.
It's a game that you literally never know. So
I think it's a afternoon game.
Got any analytics on that? Or are you just now stalling before you have to make your pick?
I'm looking at some analytics. I mean, they're just so close to each other as far as like the analytics look. I mean, I think
keeping in mind the Pens, their analytics were abysmal in the beginning and then great towards the end, whereas it's been the opposite for the Caps. So if it's just an overall season analytics, then you probably lean towards the Penguins in my mind. I mean, at this point, if I help you pick right, it just seems like I'm being a good friend and a good analyst. But if I help you pick wrong, then that's awesome. Then I prefer it. So
I'm taking the Capitals.
Perfect.
I just
idiot. You fool.
I think
you've fallen into my trap.
I think that they are going to come off of a very rough game on Thursday against the Rangers, and then I believe they have a game. Both of these teams have back-to-backs the next night. Okay. The next Sunday.
I don't hate your reason for picking the Caps. So.
Yeah.
But I am going to, speaking of a team that had a back-to-back Sunday at 12:30 p.m., the Bruins play the Caps. So I am going to take the Bruins.
I like that as well.
Right off that back-to-back, as you said, as it does make a big difference. But I mean, even without a back-to-back, I think I'm taking the Bruins in that game anyway. A team that has been playing well.
Now, Pasta is out tonight. I don't know if he'll be back for that game.
Yeah. And it's, this is a team that has had Pasta out quite a bit over his career and just generally tends to rise to the occasion. Like we talked about, that veteran leadership that, can't turn it away from a team like that. So I'm going to go with the Bruins.
On Sunday, I've got Dallas for Chicago. Both these teams are eyeing that wild card spot in the Central. It's in Chicago, but I think Dallas has been looking pretty decent. I'm taking Dallas. I don't like the fact that so far I've picked all away teams, so we'll see what happens. Hit us. What do you have on? I guess I've got another Sunday game. I've got the Jets going into Ottawa. Both teams have been playing pretty bad. Mm-hmm. The Jets are on the front end of a back-to-back. I think. I want to say Ottawa beats them, but I'm gonna take Winnipeg. I think Winnipeg goes 2-0 that week. That Sunday and Monday.
Yeah, I hate that you picked Winnipeg because I think they're going to go 1-1 either way on this. I just feel like that's been their season. They're going to drop one to the Habs or the Jets. Yeah. I have the Jets on Monday on that second back-to-back. I think I'm gonna switch. Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch to Habs.
Now you fell into my trap.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna switch to the Habs on that second day of the back-to-back. Because no, you know what I'm saying on the Jets because I think they are gonna. I think they're gonna lose to Ottawa. I think they're gonna lose to Ottawa, and I think they're gonna beat the Habs.
I think they go 2-0 and they start causing a little bit of drama in that wild card race.
Oh, hey, save that drama for your mama, okay?
But all right, guys, moving on to our joke of the week.
The weird. Corey Perry. Yeah, I don't like that. Wild. I think the first read was a good one. Now I'm overthinking it. Outlandish.
Each sixth chick sat on a stick. Little tongue twister.
And downright dumb.
You're kidding me.
It's time for the joke of the week.
Since the joke's
right.
Sorry.
I
thought it was me. Yeah.
Bring us in.
Since the joke of the week inception, I think starting on our first official show, where we've had some great stories. Some hit, some don't hit as hard. The first one ever was pretty strong. Team scored 2 points in a basketball game. We've had some other strong ones. The candidate that went in and tried to rob the bank and gave them her information while doing it. We've had some great joke of the weeks. I find it hard to not rank this at very least a top 3 joke of the week that we've ever had. It has all of the things that we need to be a great joke of the week. Teen loses nipples after spraying 2 cans of Axe body spray on them after a dare. Okay, let's get into it a little bit because it just makes it seem like in the headline that he's just sprayed his nipples and they fall off. And honestly, that would be less interesting than what actually happened. So apparently, this is a 19-year-old, and we've all been 19. I can imagine me and my buddies doing something stupid like this. He was at the University of Liverpool. He was dared to. Oh, no, he's 19 now. He was 15 when it happened. He was dared to spray 2 bottles of, okay, they call it Lynx. They call it Lynx in England, but Axe by England's name for Axe on both his nipples. Well, he did, and the spray froze his nipples. That stuff's pretty cold. Well, after both cans were emptied, one of his buddies thought it'd be I think that this is written incorrectly. One of his buddies thought it would be funny to flick his nipples, is what I think they meant. And they shot right off. This man had his nipples flipped off, Bobby. Oh, he shared a picture of it. I hadn't even seen the picture. You can go ahead and ask some questions because I'm going to need a little bit to compose myself to read the rest of it.
Oh, God. The picture is kind of what you would think.
It's a guy with no nipples. It's a guy with no nipples.
Like, do you think they tried to find it?
I don't know. This is perfect, though, because, like, this is obviously hilariously funny, but nothing really happens. Like, this dude doesn't need his nipples, you know? Like, this is the best case scenario for a guy losing his nipples. I mean, you can still see the spot where the nipple was.
Looks like it healed pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it healed very well. I mean, my goodness, man, this is.
He said he would do it again.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like there's literally no bad that came of this for this guy. I mean, it probably hurt a little bit in the beginning, but now he's the guy that burned his nipples off with Axe, and that's
Lynx
sick.
with Lynx.
Lynx. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. He burned it off with Lynx. He did it in front of a crowd before going to his next class.
You know what I would not be doing is going to my next class. If a piece of my body just got flicked off.
If I was nippless, nippless, I'd be out. I gotta go for the day.
Yeah,
man. That's
maybe he didn't want to go into the nurse's office. Be like, so I lost my nipples.
So this is one of the rare, good, heartwarming stories of the joke of the week,
or heart freezing, depending on if you use Lynx.
Maybe so, but he's okay with it. So that's all that matters. He would burn his nipples off again. It does look like just like little, like someone drew on his. It's like somebody took a bingo dauber. Oh, what a joke, man! What a joke! Whew. Hall of Fame right there.
Yeah. No pop culture this week. We'll try and get something in for next week. Let's
Hello.
I need to get around to watching it. Let's move into our questions from the internet. I think you've got 2 for us.
Yeah, I got a couple for us. What's the most useless word?
I'd have to think about it.
Yeah, I have one that just came to mind when I saw the question, and I was like, very. Adding very to anything.
Oh, I thought you said ovary, and I was like, well.
You said it, not me, Bobby. We're good.
I was like, well, I mean, if you want to change the word, but.
Yeah, I mean, it's just a useless word. Why would we even talk about it? Anyway, no, very. Because this is very cool, or this is, very stupid, or whatever word you put very in front of, there's just a word for very that's an actual word. There's like a chart for it. Like if you're like very mad, it's like fuming. You're incensed, you're fuming, there's always a better word than just.
I think grammatically that is the right answer, but I think
that's just what came to my mind. I'm not saying, look, I'm not going to learn new words or anything. I'm not saying I'm gonna not stop saying very. It's just not. I'm just saying, in a technical sense, it is the most useless.
I think that's a pretty hard question. I'm trying to think of like a funny.
I'd say roll tide. I mean, if we can, if we hyphenated it, which they probably do.
They don't even. It's just one word for them.
So roll tide would definitely be like if I never heard anybody say that again. If you bark like a Georgia fan, I think I'd make like my life would just be good without it.
Yeah.
There's quite a few. But very, as far as grammar, we literally do not need it as a
I'm with you on that. Yeah.
Okay.
Hit us with the next one.
Okay. What's a smell that everyone loves? They talk it up, but you hate it. you can't really think of one. Maybe a food that everybody loves or something that you don't like. Because I don't really have, I have to brainstorm it myself. I don't really have anything that comes to mind.
I know it's not like a specific smell, but there is a lot of candles that like my wife loves candles.
Sure,
and
candles
she's
great
like, oh, isn't this so
go-to.
great? And to me, like a lot of them smell just like chemically and fake, and that it's like
hit me with one of them. Like generally, it's a style of candle.
I never remember the name. We were at a gift shop this weekend in Florida after we went somewhere. Last weekend, and she was like, "Oh, this smells like sea breeze or something like that." And I was like, "That smell, like it stinged my nose. Like that just smells like fake chemicals." And she's like, "Oh, it smells so good." I'm like, "Oh, I don't like that at all."
Okay,
just a lot of. I find that I'm sensitive to like those chemical smells.
Okay,
yeah.
You don't
think
like
of like
mango.
foods.
You don't like mango. I know that you don't like mango.
I hate the taste of mango. I'm trying to imagine
a smell.
I'm trying to imagine in my head like what it would smell like.
Sure.
I think I don't like the smell of mango because I know I don't like the taste of it.
Sure.
So it's more my body saying,
naturally
you don't like that, but
it's
it's not like the scent itself that's bad.
You know, something that like a lot of people like really love and, are all about is like
gasoline.
Well, no, I enjoy some.
No, that's what I'm saying.
gasoline.
A lot of people are like, I love the smell of gasoline. To me, it's like,
I love
it's
the smell
an interesting
of
smell where it's like you smell it and you want to smell it again. Like that's weird. Why am I smelling gasoline? But it's not like an enjoyable smell.
I like the smell of gasoline. It's flour, like fresh flowers. Like I mostly just don't give an AF. Okay,
I'm more impartial than. It's not that I don't like it. I
just don't give AF. Okay, it just doesn't. It's like it smells nice. You hit me with like bro, this smells like fresh cut grass, like your boys.
I know a lot of people who, for whatever reason, they like that smell like of a horse barn. They're like, oh, you smell that? That's like the country. It smells like we'll be out somewhere like, you smell that fresh air. I'm like, I smell horse shit.
Yeah. That's
like, doesn't it make you just want to go camping and live the rugged life? I'm
manure.
Like, no, it's shit. You're smelling manure. Shit.
Like,
isn't it so majestic? I'm like, do you see that horse shitting over there? That cow shitting? That's not majestic.
When I was in high school, I knew this girl and she had a wood burning stove in her basement. That's how they heated the house or whatever. It's an old school, like tobacco farm or whatever. But in another separate room in that same floor was their washer and dryer. Well, the smoke, it went too high and the smoke billowed over. And so she smelled like a campfire for about 3 to
God.
It was wonderful. I love it. Smell like s'mores,
something
bro.
Along that line, during high school and I guess my last parts of middle school, when we had a goat farm, and my dad and I would have to do on the weekends, they would burn. You clean out, you'd muck the stall, and then you'd burn it.
No, I don't know about that.
Well, anyway,
I don't want to know about it. Continue.
You'd muck the stall and all the goat poop and all the hay, like the old stuff, and you burn it.
So it's like my bathroom.
Yeah. And the burn pile was like right next to where I'd always park. Now on the weekends, it's fine. Not a big deal. But my dad had this, for some reason, he would like to do it on the weekdays as well. He's like, oh, it's going to rain this weekend, so I got to do the burn pile. And because it's right next to one of my cars, I'd have to like run it. Like if I didn't, like a lot of times there would be times I'd have to leave to go somewhere. And so I smell like goat shit. Because I'm like, let me at least move my car first, dude.
Right, like give a brother a warning.
Like I'm about to go on a date, and you're just like, my car now smells like goat. I had to walk through it, and I despised when we did that. But yeah, so that wraps up some questions from the internet. We're gonna move into what are you binging? Maybe about 2 months ago, I started listening to a new D&D podcast. I've been so busy driving, working, I haven't really had time to watch TV. But it has allowed me time to start listening to a new podcast called Not Another D&D Podcast, also known as NADPod. Some really funny people who are also from College Humor and Dropout. They are, it is, if you like Critical Role, it is a lot more comedic style. They're more comedians doing it, and they make some insane situations that is just really funny.
If there's no situations that's more insane than our family campaign, I'm out.
I want to tell you, there has been times when they've shown Pole and Hole.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
that was
when they did that.
Was it in front of their two sisters?
It was not in front of their two sisters, but it was in front of. So they didn't realize it was like a wizarding tournament, whatever. Oh. And after the
Tri-Wizard tournament.
It was kind of based
similar.
On that. After the druid won, she's like, you know what? As an insult, I'm going to show him my butthole. And she's like, saw, and
I feel like you need to get better at insulting people, Druid, because they're gonna love that.
Well, she showed the butthole, and like the vines came out and choked him from that. And they come out. It's like a magical thing. They come out and like they said, the whole city is cheering, and then they realize they didn't know that there was a scry spell showing the entire city this fight. And she's like, and then they realize it after the fact. They're like, so did the whole city see my butthole? And the DM's like, yeah, they did. The whole city saw your butthole.
That's perfect. That's awesome. That might be something I need to get into.
Yeah, and she, it's really fun. She has she's a druid, so she has like a familiar, and then she chose a possum as her familiar name, Paw Paw, who lives in her. She described her character as a druid who only wears overalls with big tits. So the possum lives in her cleavage. Okay. So Paw Paw just comes out and we'll fight occasionally. What's up?
What's good with you?
When they created their characters, 2 out of the 3 thought it would be funny if they made such a low intelligence that they couldn't read or write, and they didn't talk about that. So the only one person in the entire party can read or write. And so beautiful. They made it so that the technically the possum is
smarter.
The possum is smarter. So they're like, we'll have to have our lawyer take care of this. And the possum's like, meep. It's like, and the lawyer starts doing all their contracts and stuff.
That's good, man. That's good. That is definitely something that I should get into.
Yeah, it's really, they were like in their, I just got on the way here, I was listening to a one shot they did where they're in the Donkey Kong universe with their people, and they have to like, they're fighting with Donkey Kong against some, alligators. It's a pretty funny stuff.
That's awesome.
And one of the players didn't realize, he was like, oh, I'm gonna challenge Donkey Kong to a fight. And he ends up rolling well, and his strength check beats Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong's like, you ruined my life. He takes his tie off, and they're like, yeah, well, you're Donkey Kong now. Like, he's weak. He has to leave. He's gonna probably go kill himself now. And he's like, I did not mean for that to happen. It's like, yeah, that's how it works. You just beat him. You're now the silverback of this clan. And so this half elf, half human's like, so I'm Donkey Kong now? They're like, yeah, you have to wear the tie now.
That's funny.
What do you got?
So I rewatched through the first season of Barry. This Bill Hader is the Hitman.
I saw
season
most
2.
of the first season.
Season 2 is out, and so I've seen a couple episodes of that. But
didn't season 2 come out a long time? I feel like
it did. I just got to it.
I've seen most of season 1. I didn't.
I think it's out. I think season 2 is completely out.
Is the show done, or are they working on another season?
No clue. I haven't. I'm scared to go to the subreddit. I don't mess with subreddits until I finish the show. And that goes doubly for Wire and Soprano fans out there if you haven't watched yet. But Barry, super love it. Bill Hader's so great. It's such a funny concept. Henry Winkler's in it.
Love him.
Oh yeah, he's great. He's a great actor. So
season 3 for Barry premieres April 24th.
That's what it is. I knew it got something that got it in my mind. So that's even better. So now I'm about to roll into season 3. Which is what I kind of like to do with shows, is kind of binge the whole thing. But then I've also been, I'm about 50% of the way through Return of the King. Nice. I did finish Two Towers.
Audiobook or?
Audiobook. Yeah. Not Martin Shaw.
I always forget his name.
Andy Serkis. On all 3. And then I think the next move is
The Hobbit.
I think I'm going to get The Hobbit, but
it's so good.
I actually got the sample of David Simon's The Corner book, and it gives you the first chapter, and I've been reading through that, and I think that might be the next move for me.
I still want to start watching Reacher with Alan Richman, I think his name is, the guy from Blue Mountain State. My father-in-law, he's read all the Jack Reacher books, and so I might read, because I want to watch the series, but I also want to read all the books because he said they're very good.
What is the one with Jim Halpert in it?
It's another
Jack Ryan.
So
that one's really good.
I'm glad they replaced Tom Cruise as Jack Reacher, because he did not even match the description of the books.
We own this city. David Simon is doing a one-shot, a mini-series, kind of like his Generation Kill. Yeah.
It's funny, he owned it. How did he feel about you building that city?
He was okay with it. But I would like to exclude myself, because this storyline, this mini-series is actually about that gun task force that I think that we're right before all the riots in 2015. So like, this is that story. It's got John Bernthal. It's got Jamie Hector's back. The guy that plays O-Dog in The Wire. Nice. I mean, it's David Simon.
So is it technically a spinoff, or is it canon?
No, it's its own.
Is it canon to the Wire universe?
It is. No, because Jamie Hector Marlowe is a cop in this one. It's going to be close enough to where if it's good,
Yeah.
you can consider
Do
it
you
canon.
think they are going to introduce the multiverse into the Wire universe?
It's possible. David Simon is pretty impressive. It'll be interesting because in order to incorporate all of David Simon's worlds together, he would have to, because he uses actors so many times.
Yeah.
Like, you're the bunk here in, Baltimore, and you're a homicide detective, and you're a saxophone musician here in New Orleans. It's the same guy.
The after credits of the season finale is a portal, and Doctor Strange comes like, "We need you."
But it's going to be far enough away that if you want to think about it as, if it's good, I'm going to think about it as like a sequel, because they're so hyper realistic anyway.
Yeah.
If it's bad, you don't have to give it the many Saints of Newark treatment to where it's in this universe, but you pretend it's not.
Yeah.
So, very excited about that. I mean, if you've seen anything that David Simon's done, you're excited for this.
For sure. All right, we're gonna move into what's snapping our stick.
It's a big one today.
Bobby and Brandon are about to find out exactly what snaps their sticks.
I got to keep myself from getting overly mad about this one.
Yeah, real quick. Some breaking news. Woj just told everybody Lonzo Ball probably out for the rest of the season. That hurts the Bulls, a team that could potentially be moving forward in the playoffs. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah,
I'm with you on this. I've got the same one.
So anyone that knows the show, knows us personally, knows how much I and Brandon love the Renaissance Festival.
It's a time where it was simpler.
I look forward to it. I've got the sword. I've got the kilt. I love it.
I was going to get my short sword this year.
It was you got a
My
gladiator helmet.
It's a Spartan helmet though.
Spartan helmet. Sorry,
it's disrespectful.
You got the this was it? No, it's not a Spartan helmet. It's a Roman. It's an imperial helmet. Roman imperial helmet. It's not a Spartan.
Roman
so
soldier.
Greece.
Yeah, not Greece. I'm not Spartan.
Yeah, so
but
it's
closer to Spartan than your dumb thing that you said.
Gladiator,
Whatever. Gladiator. I'm not some guy that was captured and was forced to fight a lion. Okay, I fight lions by choice as a free man. All right. Anyway, I'm getting riled up.
Anyway, the Freemans sold the land to the Williamson County Parks and Recreation Department, which means there will be no alcohol.
Prisonmans.
There will be no alcohol served at the Ren Fest. It's heartbreaking. It's un-American.
We've gone for what? It's been like 5 years in a row we've been.
Yeah.
And
here's the thing. The Tennessee Ren Fest is already, it's good. It's fun. It's a great time. It's not nearly as good as other Ren Fests.
Right.
We've been to the Maryland Renaissance Festival.
You get what you pay for. I mean, you don't pay a bunch.
But getting rid of beer is just absolutely out of this world. And then on top of that,
well, it was out of that world too. That was all they could drink. They didn't even have clean water at that point. So we're not even being historically accurate.
I survived a plague.
I'm raw, dude. I'm raw.
I survived the plague. I thought I could survive the plague, go to a medieval fair, and drink some beer, and I would get the full experience.
To be fair, we won't know if we survived the plague unless we get to drink beer at the Renaissance Festival. Maybe I want to get cholera or something. I want to just lay in a puddle.
And there are multiple facets to this. Secondly, doesn't affect us as much, but it's still changed the dress code.
Okay, you're trying to play this off because my fiance and your wife listen to it. It absolutely affects us.
Well, it doesn't affect us as it doesn't change.
It doesn't change us personally,
but it affects the enjoyment.
The atmosphere.
There are two words that come to mind when I think Ren Fair: beer and boobies.
And take old biddies. Okay.
And now they are making it that women cannot show cleavage. Women can't wear corsets. Women can't show their belly buttons. Beside our enjoyment and us having fun, I'm sorry. They chose, these are women and adults who had fun, who were cosplaying. Maybe they are bartenders that's how they got tips. I mean, this is absolutely insane.
Well, we don't have to worry about the bartenders getting tips anymore. They've solved that crisis.
They those jobs.
Crisis averted. I just find it crazy for a county that said that making somebody wear a piece of cloth over their face was harboring on their First Amendment rights and their freedoms, but they're going to tell me a grown man that I can't carry a flask in, you don't have to sell it, but let a man carry his hip flask.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm a Roman soldier that's on vacation this week. We just had a hard week. We just had to put down the Messiah. Okay. And now I just need a break.
And I was thinking, I don't even know if there's metal detectors, but I got my dad that plastic flask we could use. We could get some of those, but you know what? I'm not going to give my money to these people.
No,
they're not getting it done. I spend a lot of money at the Ren Fest, and I feel bad.
He spends way too much.
I feel bad for the vendors that I'm not going to get my money, but you know what? I'm going to go to a Ren Fest. We're going to go to Atlanta. We're going to go to Charlotte. My wife and I are going to do the New Orleans Renaissance Festival. A lot of the vendors overlap. We'll be going there. And I do want to go to the Maryland one because Jacques the Whipper will be up there.
Anyway, Kim owes us a 4th of July party anyway.
Have you seen the videos of Jacques the Whipper?
I haven't.
Amazing performer. He is he does like this French Renaissance gimmick, but he has 2 bullwhips and he does famous songs, but he plays them with whips. And he does like offbeat ones.
Biggest question, really don't care about that. Sounds cool, but do they have mead and beer?
Yes, they do.
Then I'm in. Yeah. I'm in.
Because I'm
just kidding. I've been to that one. I know
because what? One of the funnest things is, and I was getting a little bit of trouble at some of them, is I love going to the joust, a little bit buzzed.
We did get called out by a guy with he was trying to threaten us, I guess. It's like, bro, you this is your job. This is like the only time you can do this. So you're not going to stab us, probably. Yeah. And this guy's got a big sword if you do.
Yeah. But yeah, it truly was a tragedy what they've done.
It's a kick to the stomach.
Yeah. Now, we shared that one. Here's another one we might share, we might not. April Fools. Get
it's garbage.
Out of here.
It's garbage day.
April Fools is good for, like you said in the pre-show, playing little pranks on close people.
I got Stephanie. We woke up that morning. I said, hey, it's snowing outside. And she pops up and then, oh, it's not snowing. Haha, gotcha. April Fool's Day joke over.
Yeah,
okay?
That's it.
No harm, no foul. But I can go on about my day.
There are 2 very horrible things to do. A, are those idiots that do they call their parents and they post on social media, we're pregnant. Like that, first off,
no one cares.
No one cares.
No one cares.
The only people that care are your friends and family that might have a hard time getting pregnant. Second of all, it's dumb. But then there's also the Tennessee Ren Fest article, because the deal was done at the end of March. Mm-hmm. The article was written and released on April 1st. So I thought it was a joke. Everyone thought, and then I fact checked it. It had been going back since November. And there are so many, and there was this guy that I told you about. I'm not gonna call him out. I don't want people attacking him, and I don't want to dox him. But there was a guy whose April Fool's joke, he had a blue check mark, alluded to Joe Biden passing away.
You're really keeping this dude's anonymity. Nobody's going to be able to Google that. Good job, Bob.
I hope he deleted his Twitter by now. You got to. After that big of a fuck up, you've got to delete your Twitter.
I mean, it's just a silly day. It's a fun day for youngins to get kids, to trick them with something that ultimately doesn't matter. But when you're trying to be oh, bro might be dead.
Yeah. It's dumb. People got to grow up. Let's move on past it. But all right, guys.
Other people, not us.
Yeah. All right, everyone. We will see you next week and talk to you later.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the Pucks Out Podcast. To see what other ridiculousness the guys are up to, check them out on Twitter and Instagram @PucksOutPod.